my beauties and my loves, my conscious witches, my bad bitches. Hello, hello. Welcome to my hike. And as we're going to talk about, is your full body yes from a wound, or is it from your actual body's wisdom and wise discernment and compass? I talked about this a little bit on the tail end of the live feed I did last night, and I knew I wanted to speak on it more, and today's the day. It was a full body yes for me today. I'm in the woods. I feel most alive when I'm in the woods, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Okay, and as you come on, tell me where you're logging in from. Where are you in the world? I love you all so, so much. I'm so glad you're here. Always, if you're new here, I'm Liz. Welcome. Psychotherapist and embodiment coach. My deep specialties are conscious relationship and trauma, and deep, deep pattern change on a cellular level. Okay, so first of all, it's all from your body's wisdom. Okay, so it's all your body's wisdom. A wound, we want to never demonize wounds. Okay, let me make sure that, hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Tell me where you're popping in from. Okay, good. I was just making sure that internet is good. Okay. So it's all your body's wisdom. We never, ever, ever want to demonize your wounds. Okay, because they were there. Wounds happen because you survived something. Okay, it's just when it's a wound, it simply means that the trauma is never from the actual event itself. I think that's really important to know about trauma. It's not the actual event, because, we could shake that right out. It's how it was imprinted in our body's system and the narrative we create around it. It's how it stays with us. Okay, so hello. Hi, welcome. Let me know if the connection's good or if it's not. I'm hoping it is, since I'm out in the woods. So we never want to demonize this. Okay, so you survive something and then a wound happened. Like, the reason it's still a wound is that it's trauma that's still stored in your physical body. And it just keeps sending signals to your brain that this is still happening. So I have to keep doing these same behaviors. So I want to share with you a metaphor that was given to me when I was getting licensed as a psychotherapist. It's a great metaphor, but picture that you've fallen in a river and you're drowning, you're dying, and you find this big, huge log, and you are able to grab on in such a way that you're able to keep your head just above water. And that's how you stay safe. That, as you're careening down the waterfalls and down the raging river, the log is the only thing keeping you safe. Okay, so, and then you go down the river, and then you end up in this very calm, clear pool. And you're safe. But it's hard for you to swim to safety into the shallower and shallower waters because you keep hanging on to this log. So what served you once, we have so much gratitude for this. We say thank you for this. You saved my life. And it's the exact same thing now, because it's still running as a program. It's still with me, but the context is off. I don't need it in this context. Now it's actually a hindrance, because with this big log, I can't swim to shore where it's calm. I'm in 2 feet of water, but I can't get to the edge where all my family and friends are, because I still have this log. So I just get to release that and let it go. I get to say thank you and release it. But it saved you. It got you here. So wounds are what happens when you survive something, and that energetic is still in your body. So it's the energetic equivalent of you carrying a huge big log around with you every single day. And it hinders you. You can't have an intimate dinner with a huge log on the table, or you can't take a walk with maybe your new dating partner because you have to take this log everywhere. So it saved you once. It's just hindering you now. But that survival tactic did help you when you needed it. So thank you. So that it all, what I want to say here is that it all actually comes from the body's wisdom. So the key really here is to not demonize any of it. Don't demonize any of it. Now that you're in this context, now that you survived what you survived, we just want to now discern, when am I doing this because of the log, and what is actually a yes? Hello, everyone. Where are you joining in from? Is this making sense so far? Feel free to also ask questions as we go. Thanks for joining. Okay. So, is it, now that we have that in context, right, of the wound and how it operates, because remember, it's just simply an energetic that hasn't been let go. When we do trauma work, we're literally letting those energetics out of the body. Our body is designed to flush it out. So I, as a trauma therapist and a coach, I just help you let it go. So you can be, and what that equals is you more in your wise discernment more of the time. Okay, so let me get back to my main message here. So is it a yes from your body's wise compass, or is it from an actual wound? When it's a yes from the wound, it feels, it's coming from a place of, I'm not safe. So a dopamine release that happens when, oh, okay, maybe I'm safe. Now, this can be, I'm accepted, I'm wanted, I'm chosen. At the bottom of every bit of that, your real dopamine hit comes from, okay, I'm safe. Because that's how the brain works. We're mammals, we're human beings who thrive in relationship. So, say if I have an abandonment wound, right? So your yes from the wound might be, okay, so-and-so has just asked you to do this thing, but you kind of know that would also mean abandoning your own self. But if I do it, then they might like me. And so it's a yes. Okay, yes, I just need to be chosen. That's a yes. That's an example of the yes from the wound. Body-wise, because we always want to take it back to the body. Body-wise, it feels, I know to me, it feels more urgent. It's like your face is like, can you see me because of the shadows? Your face is like, that's not calm. It's like, like, yes, okay, there's urgency. There's fear if I don't do it. Notice where it is in your body. Okay, but the yes there, again, it's more from it's a dopamine hit on, oh, I'm chosen. Oh, they like me. Even though I abandoned myself, but it doesn't matter. Because abandonment wounds, the program that you unconsciously accept into your body is more abandonment. So you abandon yourself to be chosen. Okay, so it's a survival program based on right back to childhood. So I desperately need to make sure that my caregiver still chooses me so I don't die. Because if they leave me out on the road because they don't like me or they don't like something I said, then I'm going to die. So it's based on that program. Okay, a body, like an actual full body, yes, there's no fear. It's built on the foundation that you are already safe. It's not that you're trying to get safe. That wasn't even the issue. Full body yeses that are not from the wound are more opening. It's more like, I can't wait to do this. Like it's joy. I know I feel it more in my heart center, or maybe more my sacral or my sex organs when I start to get juicy because of an idea, and that happens all the time. You know, like I run a business, that's a yum source of creativity for me. I love it. When I have just a proper fucking idea that brings me some, it's like a full body yes. I might literally get wet. And my heart opens. And I'm excited. There's no urgency like that. It's more like so if you want to, good, I'm glad the log story makes so much sense. So if you want to, I want to give you a practical practice, because it's going to take time, right? So when we start to unravel patterns, just know that how many years did it take to lay these tracks that you're already on? It takes time to unlay them and lay new tracks. I want you to really think about falling in love with that process, knowing it's going to take time and patience, knowing that you cannot get to your future version of yourself that you have in mind without doing this work. Think of it as a privilege. Oh, I get to explore myself in this way. If you weren't delighted in as a child, that's an abandonment wound. If you weren't explored and given space from your caregivers as a child, you get to give that to yourself now. It's a huge fucking privilege. Give yourself this time of exploration. This makes sense? How's this feeling? Let me know. Let me know where your body's at right now. So in practical terms, bring this into a journaling. Okay, so when your body says yes to something, track it in your journal. Track in your journal how your body feels. To truly return to the self, we go to the physical body. Not so much the mind, but the physical body. So if you say yes to something, and maybe it's a yes, and my gosh, there's no judgment. How many yeses have I said out of the wound and self-abandonment? Too many to count. Too many. It was all fruitful because it all led me to here, because I didn't want to live life like that, because it was never, ever fulfilling, and it won't ever be. But track it. Track how your body feels. Does it feel more of like a scarcity, like a fear, like, oh my gosh, if I don't do this, I kind of feel like I might die, even though I can't make sense of why I feel it that way? Like, does it feel like that? Where does it feel like that in your body? Track your energy center. Where do you feel it in your solar plexus? We can hold a lot of fear there. That's right in your tummy. Or is it like relaxed, joyful? Do you feel turned on? But from a not turned on, we can be turned on by fear. That's a whole other another. It really is. None of this is wrong, by the way. Your body's never wrong. It just learned to survive. But do you feel turned on in a very expansive, like you don't have to chase anything kind of way? Does that make sense? I know for me personally, when it's actually just a full body yes, and it's not from the wound, I don't feel like I have to chase anything. When it's from the wound, I'm in very much chasing mode. I gotta get that thing. I gotta make this thing happen, because then if I don't, whatever the story is behind that, but you feel the energy. It's like, and not like, oh God, so happy. Because when you're an actual just full body yes from your body's wisdom, again, remember it's based on the foundation that you already know in your body, that you're already safe. Like, that's not even the issue. Now it's just about pleasure. Pleasure is so many things. I just told you how much pleasure I get from, business. Like, we get turned on by lots of things. What turns you on? You can journal about this too. What would be your perfect day? Like, don't worry about what anybody thinks. This is like, drop all of that. What would just be the most magical, like, oh my gosh, does this day even exist? Yes, it does. Of course it does. It's yours. You just get to attract it. Who are you spending time with? Maybe it's just yourself. Maybe it's somebody or a group of people that you actually feel good with. What are you doing? What activities turn you on? Because when you're, and these are based more on spiritual truths, what I'm about to say, when you're in full body yes, again, it's based in that you know that you're safe, you don't have to chase anything. Let me read comments real quick. Yes, makes total sense. So we have to be in tune with the body to discern. Yes. So it's all coming back to the body. Absolutely. So the more work you do on your body, the more shadow work. I'm big on shadow work. It's just our shadow is just things, and I've gone live on this before. You can scroll my feed. Shadow is just things that we've decided are shameful about ourselves, and we try to ignore or hide. But it's falling in love with every part, every survival skill, every protective, every embarrassing moment, everything about you. Make peace with, make harmony with. That's how you're fully embodied. That's how you're fully online. When we have so much stuff stored in our shadow, we're fragmented. We're not in our whole, full embodied being. So it's more difficult to discern, and it's easier to be led by the wound, yes, as opposed to an actual discernment, yes. So yes, you have to be just in tune with your body in order to discern in the best way. Yes, great question. Any other questions? So good. How's this landing for you? Does this check in with your body right now? I'd actually love to invite you to do that. Your body, when you hear this, what is your body physically doing right now? When we resonate with truth, that's what we get to start trusting. Your body just opens. Like, you just know. Or this might feel kind of glitchy and triggering, but all that is fruitful too. Just pay attention to how your body responds to this. So good. Any other questions before we jump off of here? This will be posted later, so you can come back to it any time. Whoops. Okay. My loves, thank you so much for coming. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, good reminder always to get back to the basics. Absolutely. We're laying new tracks. We're back to square one, but let's not make that a punishment. Let's make that a joy, a privilege. I get to lay my own tracks again. I get to return back to my basics, maybe what I wasn't given in childhood. How great that I have the opportunity and I'm willing to do that for myself. How amazing. Yes, well, thank you for your honesty. Yes, this can be very, and triggers, the best gift we can ever have are triggers. We can't grow without them. We absolutely, because triggers show you where your limits are. So yes, so I'd love to invite you too, if you are in discovery mode and if you want to leave a comment, I'll post this video here in about 30 minutes to my feed. Feel free to post what shows up for you. Post what shows up for you, but triggers, they're hard. They suck, yes, and so fruitful. Because when we feel triggered, we've come up to the etheric electric fence of where we've formerly been contained and confined. Freedom is on the other side of it. We get to work through that trigger to get to the freedom part. I get it. I'm triggered all the time. I just have a better relationship with my triggers now than I did, which makes them easier to work through if you see them as a gift. Okay. Love you all so much. Let me know in the comments later when I post this what shows up for you, if you're led. Glad you're here. Love you so much. You're in exactly the right place. Love you.